And that's what bad intermediate shaft bearings can look like. They don't wear normally, they can just chip right out. So if you just want to remove the outside one, then you can go around the edge, tapping the old bearing out. If you put a rag through the middle, that'll catch it so it doesn't fall into the oil pan. Then you just turn it sideways and drag it out. And here's my homemade driver tool. Just an old intermediate shaft. Ground down the edge so it'll fit through the holes right. And using sealed power. I tried using Clevite. I thought I was having some luck, but ended up every engine I put that in had low oil pressure. And that low oil pressure was solved by sealed power. Little hole right there, that's an oil hole. Oil hole, I'm going to have to get a flashlight because you have to look down there and line it up with that. It's going to require a flashlight. Okay, second time I did a little better. There'll be plenty of oil flowing through that hole for that one bearing. You got more oil than that flowing, you're going to lower your oil pressure anyway. And here's where that oil hole lines up with. Right through there. So right in the center of that one is right where that hole in the bearing is supposed to go. So I get it in there close to the surface, but I like it to be perfectly flush. So I usually put a big fat washer on there and tap it in. Tap it in with the hammer. And I use my compressed air. It's hot air. Yeah, I can spin that by hand. I would like to see it spin a little harder than that. It does spin kind of hard. But don't worry if you put your shaft in and it actually fits in and it spins kind of hard. It'll loosen up a little bit when the oil starts flowing. But that'll get you some good oil pressure. So this is just a used engine I got in a pile of engines. The guy told me it was good. Looks like they did some work on it. You can see that green seal there. That was factory. It would be probably black and brittle. You wouldn't even know there's a seal there. It looks like it's machined in. Okay, so when you close this up, put some blue Loctite on these two. Chase the holes out. Clean them up with brake cleaner. Get all the oil off it. Get all the oil off the bolts. This blue Loctite doesn't work well when you got a bunch of oil. But that's important. I've had those come loose before. Hell of an oily mess. And it's the same thing for the pulley bolt. Degrease the hole, degrease the bolt. And then you're like, well, how am I going to hold the pulley while I torque it to 33? I don't know. I just put a 1/2 inch socket on that lower one. And if you got two hands, it will keep it from spinning.